On the day of the celebration, my son and daughter-in-law arrived with noticeably tense expressions and forced smiles.
Dad, Mom. It's been a while.
Nice to meet you. And congratulations on your 25th wedding anniversary.
Welcome. I'm so happy you both came to celebrate with us today. I responded cheerfully, trying to help them relax.
I went all out and prepared dinner for you two who came from afar.
What? You, Dad?
But, since I'm not used to it, I'm still not quite finished.
Despite his confusion, my son Justin took a seat, accepting my husband Andrew's kind gesture. Meanwhile, my son's wife Rachel headed to the kitchen where my husband was.
If it's still in progress, I'd be honored to help.
As I wiped the table, I felt the lively atmosphere that comes with having the family gathered together.
All right, the food is ready. Let's have a toast.
With the biggest smile I've ever seen on him, Andrew handed me a glass and said,
I'd like Mary, who has worked the hardest, to lead the toast.
Touched by Andrew's kindness, I took the glass. With my heart pounding, I slowly raised the glass and took a deep breath. May this happiness last forever. In the middle of my words, Rachel suddenly grabbed my hand tightly and ran towards the entrance.
Run away now.
I was bewildered, but her grip was so strong and desperate that I had no choice but to follow. After running outside for a while, we entered a cafe that came into view. Desperately trying to keep up with Rachel, I finally felt relieved when we stopped and I caught my breath.
I'm sorry for the suddenness, but I had no other choice.
Rachel, trembling and pale, began to explain the situation. Andrew, thank you for your many years of dedicated service as a teacher. I, Mary Smith, expressed my gratitude to my husband Andrew, who is 5 years older than me. After more than 30 years as a high school teacher, Andrew retired this spring.
Yeah.
Andrew responded in his usual curt manner. Relieved that he had replied, I returned to my room. Suddenly, I noticed a dusty photo on my desk. It was a memorable shot of us taken at our wedding. Both of us were beaming, and I couldn't help but sigh. If only we could go back to those days. When we first got married, Andrew was kind. He would express his gratitude and appreciation to me every day, and he always enjoyed my home-cooked meals. He would accompany me on shopping trips, carry even the smallest bags, and always showed concern for my health. However, as our married life progressed, Andrew gradually started to interfere with my household chores. At first, it was small things like making sure the eggs were cooked over easy or vacuuming every day. These were things he never mentioned during our newlywed days, and I was puzzled. But I was happy, thinking that Andrew was finally being honest with me, so I complied. However, as time went on, Andrew's criticisms increased. By the time our son started elementary school, Andrew would harshly scold me for even the smallest things that displeased him. He treated our son Justin just as strictly.
If you have time to play, you should study. You're a boy, so don't cry no matter what.
He demanded high academic performance from Justin, who was still in elementary school, and would severely reprimand him if he wasn't at the top of his class. This invisible violence was slowly but surely tormenting us. Andrew continued his reprimands and remained largely indifferent to household matters. By the time Justin entered middle school, Andrew's violence was no longer just verbal.
Why did you only get this score?
Apparently, Justin had made just one mistake out of 5 subjects on a test. Andrew, unable to hide his anger, tore up the test on the desk in a fit of rage. Being the top of his class is an incredible achievement.
It means nothing if it's not perfect. Why did you get this one question wrong?
Despite my fear, I spoke up, hoping Andrew would acknowledge Justin's hard work. Everyone makes mistakes.
It's your fault for spoiling him. Because of you, I'm humiliated.
Andrew raised his voice and finally struck me. All I could do was endure until he was satisfied. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I kept apologizing, telling myself that if Andrew was satisfied, he wouldn't turn his anger on Justin. To protect Justin, I gritted my teeth and endured. Even when Justin became a high school student, Andrew didn't change.
What on earth are you doing? Aren't you upset that Justin lost?
That day, Justin, who had joined the soccer team, lost a match, and I was being blamed for it. Justin was playing his first match, and he was chosen as a regular member even though he's a freshman. That's an amazing achievement.
Don't be ridiculous. Being a regular member means nothing if he loses.
With that, Andrew slapped my left cheek hard. Holding my stinging left cheek, I desperately tried to keep Andrew's anger from turning towards Justin. The opponent was the top team in the state. Justin even scored 2 goals against them.
If he can score 2 goals, he can score 3.
Then he slapped my right cheek hard.
Tell him that if he produces such a disgraceful result again, I won't be lenient.
Andrew seemed satisfied after hitting both my cheeks hard and left with a parting shot. I told myself that I would never let him lay a hand on Justin. As I iced my cheeks, I kept repeating this to myself. Andrew would become violent with me every time Justin's grades or test results came out.
Mom, your face.
With a tearful expression, Justin rushed over to me. This will heal soon, I said, trying to force a smile to reassure him, but my swollen cheeks wouldn't cooperate.
It's my fault, isn't it?
No, Justin, it's not your fault.
But if I had gotten better grades. Please, Mom, stop protecting me.
His plea pained my heart. It's a parent's job to protect their child.
But I don't want to see you hurt because of me anymore.
Clenching his fists, Justin spoke with a strained voice. If Dad ever hits you and you get seriously injured, you won't be able to manage high school life.
That might be true, but
You only live once. I want you to enjoy your high school life to the fullest. I gently touched Justin's shoulder and spoke to him soothingly.
Mom, you only live once too.
I'll be fine. Besides, Dad is only acting this way for now. He'll surely return to being the kind dad he once was. Looking him straight in the eyes, I smiled.
I'll try harder not to cause any trouble.
Sensing that I wouldn't back down, Justin spoke weakly. Just be yourself and enjoy life, Justin. Leave Dad to me. He looked me in the eyes and nodded. After that, Justin enjoyed his high school life and quickly became a senior preparing for college entrance exams. Worried about me, Justin seemed to be deciding on a college close to home. Don't worry about Dad.
But what about you, Mom?
I'll stay here with Dad. Justin looked at the marks on my arm with a pained expression.
Are you sure?
Yes. Besides, you know my health isn't great. I might not be able to handle a big change. In fact, I had often fallen ill while traveling.
All right.
Though he seemed dissatisfied, Justin relented. After much effort, Justin was accepted into his desired university, which was quite far from home. Despite Andrew's frequent complaints about Justin, he was pleased that Justin had been accepted into a prestigious university. Take care.
Mom. I'll do my best.
With tears in his eyes, Justin held my hand and said goodbye. After Justin went off to college, Andrew's violence stopped, but his scolding continued.
Another cold? Are you faking it? Don't walk around in front of me looking so shabby.
He often criticized my health and appearance, but it was better than being hit. My solace during those days was the messages from Justin. They were about trivial things like the seasons or the town he lived in, but it was clear he was always worried about me.
This year, the watermelons are plentiful and very sweet. I wish you could come and try them.
Really? If I'm feeling well, I'd love to visit.
The air is fresh, and I think it would be a comfortable environment for you too.
Thank you for worrying about me. Thanks to Justin's frequent messages, I didn't feel lonely and could endure Andrew's scolding. That life continued for over 4 years. Justin graduated from university and married a local woman.
When I told Rachel about you, she said she wants you to live with us.
This was a message from Justin, as usual. I had heard that Rachel, Justin's wife, was a very cheerful and lively woman. I don't want to interfere with your newlywed life, but I appreciate the thought. I replied to Justin, letting out a quiet sigh. I still held on to the faint hope that Andrew would someday return to being the kind husband he once was, so I had no intention of going to live with Justin. It'll be okay. It has to be okay. I muttered like a mantra, enduring Andrew's scolding.
Hey, where did you put my socks?
My mantra had no effect, and Andrew's verbal abuse rained down on me mercilessly every day. The socks are right there.
Not these. Today is an important day. I can't go out in these worn-out socks.
He complained about socks that had only been worn 2 or 3 times. But these are the newest socks you have.
You are completely useless. It's common courtesy to iron socks every day so they don't get wrinkled. If it's the same tomorrow, you won't get off easy.
Leaving behind these unkind words, Andrew left the house. Knowing he wouldn't look back, I hurriedly called out, "Take care." He expects so much from me, I have to meet his expectations. I told myself, ignoring the pain in my heart as I went about my chores. After enduring Andrew's unreasonable demands alone for several years, today has finally come. Andrew, who has reached retirement, seemed to have become a bit more gentle. It would be a lie to say I wasn't anxious about spending more time with him in the future. Still, I hated myself for trying to force kindness into his actions and still searching for the man he used to be. Unable to let go of my anxiety and faint hope, I rarely approached the living room during the day when Andrew was there. I watched TV when he was in his room. A program introduced a dish that Andrew might like, so I decided to make it for dinner. I turned off the TV and got ready to go shopping. Even though it was April, the forecast said the high would be 41 degrees Fahrenheit, so I dressed warmly. Just as I was about to leave the house as usual, Andrew called out to me from behind.
Wait a minute. I'll come with you to carry the bags.
What? I almost dropped my bag in surprise at his unexpected words.
It'll be cold if you walk. I'll drive.
Watching Andrew hurriedly prepare, I wondered if this was a dream and pinched the back of my hand. I chose my hand so he wouldn't notice, but it probably hurt more than my cheek would have. Come to think of it, I haven't been verbally abused at all today.
All right, let's go.
As I got into the car, prompted by Andrew, he said something even more surprising.
You can rely on me, you know.
I reflexively replied, okay, unable to believe this was the same Andrew as yesterday. What on earth had happened? Seeing me shiver from the cold, Andrew quietly turned on the heater. Thank you. Andrew glanced at me and smiled. It was the first time in decades that I had seen him smile. It had been so long that I was so surprised I quickly looked away. 5 minutes into the drive, Andrew spoke again.
I'm sorry for everything. I was stressed from work and took it out on the family.
I see. Given his job as a teacher, he must have been under a lot of pressure from students and their parents.
I'm a terrible person. Instead of being someone you can rely on, I've hurt my precious family. I'm the worst.
Seeing Andrew's apologetic expression, tears naturally welled up in my eyes. The kind husband I believed in had returned. Thank you for working so hard for us. I've always known you're a kind person and I've always believed in you.
I'm lucky to have such a wonderful wife.
Andrew smiled shyly, and I couldn't help but smile back. Thank you. Let's continue to take care of each other.
Of course.
From that day on, Andrew worked to make up for the past.
I don't know if it will make up for everything, but I want to help you, Mary.
With a serious expression, Andrew said this and took the initiative in household chores, always considering my health. You've been a great help. Thank you so much. I thought to myself, I'm glad I kept believing. As the months passed and the season of fragrant osmanthus arrived again, Justin and his wife decided to come to our house to celebrate our silver wedding anniversary.
Do you think it's okay for Rachel to meet Dad?
Justin was worried about Andrew's behavior right up until their visit. Don't worry. He doesn't say harsh things to me anymore. In fact, he's very kind now.
Really?
Until now, I had visited Justin and his wife alone, but this was the first time they were coming to our house. If you're that worried, I'll let you talk to Dad. I thought that hearing Andrew's words might change Justin's mind, even though he was nervous on the other end of the phone.
Hello, Justin?
I handed the phone to Andrew, and they exchanged awkward greetings.
Justin, I'm sorry for everything. I was always on edge from work stress and took it out on you and Mom.
I couldn't see Justin's face on the other end, but from Andrew's tone, I could tell that some of the tension had eased. After a few more minutes of conversation, Andrew hung up the phone, looking satisfied.
Since they're coming from far away, I want to host them myself.
Andrew. The relationship between Andrew and Justin wasn't exactly great. However, I was genuinely happy that Andrew was trying to make amends, even now.
I was thinking of having a home party and cooking all the food myself.
That sounds wonderful. I'm sure Justin and Rachel will be delighted.
I'll handle all the cooking from scratch. I've been a burden for so long, so I want you to take it easy.
It was an unexpected proposal. Although he had been taking the initiative in cooking recently, it wouldn't be surprising if he still felt uneasy about it. His suggestion filled my heart with gratitude and joy. In that case, I'll take you up on your offer.
Leave it to me.
I became excited and started thinking about what else I could do for Justin and Rachel. Then I'll do the cleaning.
I'll be using the kitchen, so I'll handle that. Could you take care of the rest of the house?
Got it. And so, we worked together to prepare for Justin and Rachel's visit. On the day of the visit, Justin and Rachel arrived with visibly tense expressions and forced smiles.
Dad, Mom. It's been a while.
Nice to meet you. And congratulations on your 25th wedding anniversary.
Welcome. I'm so happy you both came to celebrate with us today. I responded brightly, trying to help them relax.
To have caught such a beautiful wife, Justin has really grown up.
Andrew also spoke to Justin in a friendly manner.
Dad.
Justin seemed deeply unsettled by his father's newfound gentleness, something he had never experienced before.
I went all out and prepared a meal for you two who came from far away.
What? You did, Dad?
But I'm not used to it, so I'm still not finished.
Shrugging his shoulders, Andrew showed his left hand covered in band-aids, indicating how many times he had cut his fingers.
Thank you. I'm happy just with the thought.
Though still bewildered, Justin took a seat, trying to accept Andrew's gesture. Meanwhile, Rachel headed towards the kitchen where Andrew was.
If it's still in progress, I'd be honored to help.
As I wiped the table, I felt the lively atmosphere that comes with having family gathered together. Seeing Rachel actively engaging with Andrew brought a natural smile to Justin's face. Watching this, I felt very happy too.
All right, now that the food is ready, let's have a toast.
Andrew, wearing the biggest smile I've ever seen, handed me a glass.
Mary, who has endured the most, should lead the toast.
Touched by Andrew's kindness, I took the glass. My heart pounding, I slowly raised the glass and took a deep breath. May this happiness last forever. Before I could finish, Rachel suddenly grabbed my hand and pulled me towards the front door.
Run, now.
I was confused, but her grip was so strong and desperate that I had no choice but to follow. After running for a while, we entered a cafe. Desperately trying to keep up with Rachel, I finally felt relieved to stop and catch my breath.
I'm sorry for the suddenness, but I had no other choice.
Rachel, trembling and pale, began to explain the situation. What? As I listened, I felt the blood drain from my face. According to Rachel, when she was preparing the drinks and tried to carry the glasses, Andrew was unusually resistant.
I secretly observed his actions so he wouldn't notice.
Rachel said that Andrew, looking around nervously, poured a drink into one of the glasses and then chopped something into it.
It was monkshood.
Monkshood.
Yes. I enjoy hiking, and the mountains can be surprisingly dangerous.
She explained, rubbing her arms with both hands.
I study dangerous plants and things you shouldn't eat in the mountains, so I recognized it immediately.
Even though I had never seen monkshood before, I knew it was poisonous. I had thought the pretty purple thing in the glass was just decorative, but it turned out to be poison. Shocked by this horrifying revelation, I was paralyzed with fear. My thoughts were interrupted by a call from Justin.
Mom, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Are you safe, Justin?
Somehow. I just got a message from Rachel explaining everything. I'm so glad you're safe, Mom.
With a sigh, Justin told me what had happened at the house.
Dad was in shock for a while, probably not expecting you to leave.
He seemed to be stunned by my escape, not even noticing Justin nearby.
Then he suddenly snapped out of it and rushed out of the house, so he might be looking for you.
The cafe we're in is located in a maze of alleys, so it won't be easy for him to find us. Still, I couldn't shake off my anxiety.
But don't worry. I installed a location tracking app on Dad's phone.
When Justin left home, he had given us phones to stay in touch easily.
I put it there just in case, but I never thought it would be useful in this way.
Justin, with a bitter smile, seemed to be struggling to contain his anger at what his father had tried to do.
So, I was able to get into Dad's room and check his computer.
Rachel had asked Justin to search for any records of obtaining monkshood. Since I don't usually use the computer, Andrew must have let his guard down. When Justin opened the computer, it wasn't locked. On Andrew's computer, there were records of purchasing monkshood and messages from a woman who seemed to be his mistress, plotting to kill me for insurance money.
Dad probably became nice all of a sudden to make you let your guard down.
Justin's words seemed to dissolve into the air over the phone. After hearing everything, I felt as if I had been slapped awake. I couldn't believe that Andrew would do such a thing. I recalled his past behavior like a flashback. Indeed, the violence had stopped after Justin left home. At that time, I was so relieved that the violence had stopped that I couldn't think about anything else. He must have been involved with his mistress since then, and by the time he started being kind to me, he had already been planning this. It was fortunate that Justin and Rachel came to celebrate and that Rachel knew about monkshood. If I had been alone. Looking back, there were many unnatural points. Even for the silver wedding anniversary preparations, Andrew took complete control of the kitchen. It was all to carry out his plan. Thinking of the worst, I got goosebumps all over my body. Justin, thank you. I'm going to the police.
Got it. It looks like Dad is heading in a completely different direction.
I see. Now's our chance. So, I decided to go to the police with Rachel.
No matter what happens, I'll protect you, Mary.
Rachel, you're so reliable. Encouraged by her, my heart strangely calmed down. Rachel's inherent brightness lightened the atmosphere. After that, my divorce from Andrew was finalized without any issues. The three of us returned home, tired from the ordeal but somehow looking relieved as we glanced at each other.
I talked to the lawyer, and Dad will have to pay alimony.
Thank you for everything. By now, I had no sympathy left for Andrew and felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. Additionally, due to the long-term emotional and physical abuse from Andrew, I had been regularly seeing a doctor, which led to Andrew being taken into police custody. Thanks to you, Justin, we quickly found Andrew's whereabouts, and the alimony was paid from his retirement money. I can't thank you both enough.
It seems his mistress also faced consequences.
The woman who had apparently been plotting with Andrew was identified through his computer and was promptly arrested. Now I can live without fear. My heart was shattered by Andrew's betrayal after supporting him for so many years. However, I forced a smile, not wanting to worry Justin and Rachel.
Mary, would you consider living with us?
I appreciate the offer, but I'm fine on my own. I didn't want to be a burden to Rachel, given my weak health. The last thing I wanted was to trouble my son and my daughter-in-law.
You protected Justin with your own body, and now we want to protect you.
As she said this, Rachel hugged me tightly. Rachel. In my line of sight, Justin nodded with a gentle expression. Thank you. It would be reassuring to have you both by my side. So, I moved into Justin and Rachel's house and started a new life. The one concern I had about my health turned out to be unfounded, as I felt miraculously better after the move. Because of this, I was able to do things I had previously held back from and visit places I couldn't before, making every day feel fresh and new. Today, I woke up with the sunrise, opened the window, and breathed in the outside air, enveloped by the characteristic warmth of summer. After preparing breakfast, the three of us sat around the table. After finishing our prayer, I reached for the mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is a must for fried eggs, I said firmly to Rachel, who was about to sprinkle salt on her fried egg.
No, Mary. It has to be salt.
Even such trivial disagreements felt natural, and I finally felt like I had found true happiness.
You too. If you don't eat quickly, we won't be able to go anywhere.
Justin said, almost as if he were coaxing children. Where are you taking us today?
How about we go to a farm and have some soft serve?
Sounds fun. I need to make sure I have my sun protection ready.
As I interacted with the two of them, I felt the true sense of family and love that I had finally found, and I vowed to continue working together with them. May this happiness last forever. I quietly whispered the words I couldn't say that day, my heart filled with joy.
How did you like this story? Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.